Luke chapter 2 verses 1 to 7. In those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration when Quirinius was governor of Syria, and all went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary his betrothed, who was with child. And while they were there, the time came for her to give birth. And she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling cloths, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn. I'm picturing the final round of the game show Pointless. The topic, the nativity story. The question, any person named in the gospel accounts of that first Christmas. I'm not sure if Caesar Augustus would be a pointless answer, but he surely wouldn't be far away. He's certainly not one of the big names. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, the angels, the innkeeper. I certainly don't remember anybody being cast as Caesar Augustus in the school nativity play. But if we step back in history 2,000 years, Caesar Augustus was probably the most powerful figure in the known world. The head of the Roman Empire, the very first emperor of Rome in fact. The top man, the man the month of August is named after. One historian writes, Augustus led Rome's transformation from republic to empire. He shrewdly combined military might, institution building, and law-making to become Rome's sole ruler, laying the foundations of an empire that lasted in various forms for nearly 1,500 years. During his reign, Augustus nearly doubled the size of that empire, adding territories in Europe and Asia, and securing alliances that gave him effective rule all the way from Britain to India. As CVs go, it's pretty impressive. So what's his role here in Luke chapter 2? We're told he issues a decree that everyone in the Roman Empire is to be registered in their hometown. The purpose of this was basically for collecting taxes and military registration. So Joseph and his pregnant fiancée Mary make this grueling 90-mile trip all the way from Nazareth to Bethlehem. And while they were there, verse 6 says, the time came for her to give birth. Why was Jesus born in Bethlehem then? Was it because Caesar Augustus just happened to order a census at the time when Mary was 9 months pregnant? Does it matter even where Jesus was born? Let me reread the verses Miles read for us from Micah chapter 5 on Monday. But you, O Bethlehem, Ephrathah, who are too little to be among the clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to be ruler in Israel, whose coming forth is from of old, from ancient days. And he shall stand and shepherd his flock in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. And they shall dwell secure, for now he shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be their peace. It's one of the things that I love, and it points to the truth of the Bible, firmly set in history. Real people, real places, real events. Nobody doubts the existence of Caesar Augustus, his life, his accomplishments, his influence, yet not outside the will and plans of God. This same God who writes himself into history to be born in the little town of Bethlehem, prophesied by Micah hundreds of years before, facilitated by Caesar Augustus. Perhaps the most significant thing he ever did without realizing it. Enter Jesus, not an emperor for a season, but God for eternity.